right now.
So I think a question that a lot of people would have then is, they're going to be people just getting started might be worried about their clients throwing a fit, right? Because if somebody's paying for semi-private, and I know in your spot, mine's a little different. We have things separated, but you guys have semi-privates running with large group. And what advice would you give people to how to converse with their clients and make that okay?
I think it's more than anything. I think that depending on how you start, right, how you program in their minds how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, if you make a big deal out of it, they're going to make a big deal out of it, right?
Like to me, it was from the get-go when we switched it up. Like it just never came up.
Sure.
I'm gonna just. The thing is like if I spend, I'm training you and 2 other people, right, and in that group when we're training, we're doing dynamic warm-ups, and I'm just really paying attention to you, and I'm joking around, and we're it's getting basically the combination of that relationship, and also like tough training because. Why
don't you outline quick the differences between your boot camp and your large group, right, and semi-private? Because I think that I've seen a lot in the industry where they're semi-private and their boot camp training is very similar, right? It's mainly metabolic because they don't know training as well as they should. Not to shit on anybody, but ultimately, ultimately.
Well, and we're back.
And we're back to ultimately. But you know what I'm saying, like. Maybe they don't study training as much, so maybe all they know is like the kind of large group boot camp-ish type of stuff. So why don't you just explain what you do in your facility? And realistically, my programs are very similar to yours. We talk a lot, so we study the same things. So
it's pretty much boot camp. Boot camp is a group training program. I mean, obviously,
large group,
But even there, I want to stop and say that how can you create right? How can you individualize within that group training setting? So we have regressions, progressions, and then we also have modifications. And I actually haven't heard many people do that. What are modifications? Everybody understands the regression part, right? You got you're doing a forward lunge. A regression is a reverse lunge. A regression is a static lunge. Regression is just a static hold. Right. Then you got.
Here's a good question, I think. Like modification-wise, how many, like in a given session when you're running it, like I know for me personally, there's a big percentage of people that need modifications. There really is. So you almost have to let your clients know that it's okay to say, hey, you got to tough some of this stuff out, but if you feel like something's injuring, if a joint's bothering you, something
everything
like that.
In that manner gets addressed in orientation. So because the thing is in our orientation, it's essentially a screen.
Sure.
Right. So if we see that people cannot, first of all, we can regress them in orientation, and as soon as they can do it.